Okay, Stephen.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Gary.
So we normally have 3 to 100 conversations a week regarding ServiceNow, the ecosystem, obviously in the context of our products, but also just what's going on in the ecosystem. Typically, those things never leave our walls. So one of the things that we've talked about is taking some of those highlights that we share, that we talk about, and putting them out there to the world so that we can get some more feedback.
Because everybody else is having these conversations too, but it's just hard to access them sometimes. So figured, breaking them out of the walls. Hopefully we can get some feedback about these things and just share some ideas.
Correct. So today we have a docket of a few things. We're going to start off. Everyone's doing their hot takes right now on Washington. The Washington release came out a week ago, and we've had the early release for over a month. We've been playing around with it. I think there are 150 different updates in Washington, so we clearly haven't tested everything, but today we're going to go through a few of the things that we've been paying attention to and that we've been talking about internally.
Yep. So everybody's got their own things that they're obviously that they think will be the most valuable or the most interesting. One of the ones that we have our eyes on is Platform Analytics Workspace. This new workspace to centralize all of your dashboarding, both viewing and organizing them, but also creating the visualizations and creating the dashboards themselves. So Gary, the thing we were talking about earlier today is that it seems like a good opportunity because they've built a mechanism to migrate all of your existing dashboards into this new workspace.
Which, by the way, is awesome.
Yeah, because otherwise, they even said it in the demo video. They were like, we heard that you didn't want to, it's expensive to migrate all of that stuff if you were to have to do it manually. So you can do it basically in one click and migrate everything over, which is, very cool. But also we were talking about how it seems like an awfully good opportunity to take a look at what you've got because there's, if you've been working in this environment for a long time, there's probably hundreds or who knows, maybe thousands of things that are just sitting there, maybe not used or maybe being used for in not the most optimal way.
Yeah, the analogy I used when we were talking about it was when you move from house to house. Like if you've been in a house for 10 years, typically get the big items out of the house. You have the, all the furniture out and the beds out. Feels like you're making a lot of progress. You got the truck loaded up, and then you start opening up the closets, and you got a box of things that you haven't seen for 10 years in one closet. In the garage, you got a whole section of the garage of things. And so, this is similar, like the analogy holds here. There's probably dashboards or reports that, were built a long time ago and had a purpose, but maybe don't serve a purpose today. And I think, for us at VividCharts, or how this relates to us and how we're thinking about it is, we make the distinction clearly and often about the difference between analytics and operational reporting.
Right.
So if you're going to be doing some evaluation of your dashboards and what to move over and migrate, it's also a good opportunity to say, okay, what is like analytics driven and what am I using for my analytics practice, and what is operational reporting, which is kind of the area that we specialize in, and what would be best is operational reporting.
Yep. Excited to see how that turns out.
Yep.
Okay. Next thing's a few items that also caught our eye. Background script editors.
Yeah. So if you develop in ServiceNow, you've probably have written a background script. Previously, you'd had just like a common kind of text input thing that, if you're used to developing, you don't get any of the fun highlighting or syntax support and things like that. Background script editor, it's been upgraded. It's quite nice. And so you get that common experience. One of the other things that is coming is Access Analyzer. And for us, how I've been thinking about it is, in our applications, we typically have specific roles that are required for you to do certain things. For example, the builder role in both of our applications, VividSheets and VividCharts, you have to have a builder role to do things. Well, sometimes when we're testing or, we're trying to debug or help, customers, it's hard to figure out why someone's seeing something. Typically.
Yeah, just like pinpointing the reason why something is not behaving the way we're expecting.
Yeah.
Like, is it something with our product? Is it something about the way that they have access to tables or dashboards or reports or things like that? If it can be hard to pinpoint where that problem is. So this is going to be really cool because you can take in just it's a user ID, or no, sorry, a username, right?
Yes, correct.
And plug it in there and then be able to see in a visual way what they have access to.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'll introduce people to some of our personas, but we have Bella and Bob. They're both builders, but builders with very different ServiceNow roles. And so this allows you to, select Bella and see what all she has. What's actually kind of nice about the update in Washington is I could actually take Bella and Bob and put them both in there and see the differences.
See a diff? Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be very helpful.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah. So if we were like, okay, we need somebody, or a real world example of somebody's like, okay, I'm in this role and I need to basically have all of the access that so-and-so person has.
Yeah.
Be able to match that exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's a visual tool, which, helps me. And that actually leads us into kind of the next update. So we build a lot of custom components. We put them on the UI builder. And one of the things with custom components that you do is you do the data binding for the component. Depending on the component, it has different data sources, different data brokers, things like that. Once you get used to it, I think you can kind of work through it time and time again, but it is a little bit difficult to initially get. The nice thing in Washington is that data binding kind of process becomes more visual. And so again, as a visual, like even programmer, it's very helpful to be led through kind of like this process of moving through the data resource in a visual way. And so I'm excited. I actually haven't used it yet. I've only seen it demoed, but I'm excited about, that change.
Cool. Is that kind of, do you anticipate that that's more like the kind of the workflow builder, same kind of visual, or any guesses?
Yeah, the way it works
think?
today is like, let's say I'm choosing a data resource. I would choose it, and then typically the way I would do it today is I'd hit dot, and it would give me the next. I would be walking myself. Yeah, I would hit dot, and then it would populate, and I'd scroll down and be like, oh yeah, that's the one we want, and then I hit dot and see what my next options are. It's kind of a similar process, although the visual, like the next options are going to be more visual, so it's not like this long list I'm scrolling through. Well, it is a list, but it's just visually more able to understand.
From a UX perspective, it's increasing the chances that somebody will find their option more quickly and easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and that whole data
Speaking my language.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole data panel, the way it's been redone in Washington too, so they've made a bunch of progress there.
Cool.
So, okay, next topic.
Next, Knowledge 24. I'm personally really excited for this because it will be my first one. I'm relatively new to the ServiceNow ecosystem, so I've heard a lot about this big event in Las Vegas. Tons of people from all over the world coming. I am personally really excited because as a researcher, it's especially in this environment, it can be a real challenge to get access to and talk with the right people in these big enterprises. And I am really excited to meet with those people face to face and hear about some of their challenges with operational reporting and even just other use cases, and talking about the tools that they use and opportunities for us to learn. I'm gonna definitely be in sponge mode.
Yeah, so we did go to Dallas back in October.
Yep.
To the World Forum.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed the event, and one of the things that I said when we walked in is like, this is awesome, but knowledge is like times 20.
Change in scale.
Yeah, and some of the feedback that we got is like, the people that were native or, local to Dallas is that, most of the people there were Dallas kind of area people, where obviously knowledge is worldwide. Like people from everywhere come there. It's going to be exciting.
So I'm excited to see all of those people and have access to all those people and have those conversations. I'm also really excited to get feedback on some of the new stuff that we've released. The new product, VividCharts, has been out for just a few weeks now. I'm especially excited for that because it does represent something new that somebody could come to the booth and have a conversation about. Because I have met people, they were like, oh yeah, we came to the booth a few years ago. There was some cool stuff, but ultimately, it wasn't the right time to spring for that, but it gives another reason for people to come by and have another conversation.
Yep.
And even our stuff with the VividCharts has changed quite a lot even since last year. So excited to talk about that and learn about new use cases as well.
And the integration between VividCharts and VividSheets. Yeah. So there's
interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting opportunities.
The roadmap is not small right now.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting. Okay. Topic 4 that we have. One of the Washington updates or things that's coming out in Washington is the Now-SDK that they're allowing. I'm personally really excited about it. I've been posting in different social channels, kind of my excitement around it, primarily because it gives people that come from a non-ServiceNow background an experience that they're more used to. So, you get modular JavaScript in there, which is pretty big in my opinion about being able to use. They've been promoting that you could use third-party libraries because of that. But even for like us, the ability to create our own packages that we reuse. We have multiple products. So like if I can develop a package and use it in multiple products. So I think there's a lot of things there. You can use TypeScript will be supported, which I'm excited about, but it's just one of the things. I will say that, some of the feedback that as I've been talking about how excited I am about this is that, there's some cautiousness to it. It's new, it's brand new. It's came out just in Washington. And so with any new product, I think which actually changes the paradigm of how you work.
So that's going to take a little bit to adopt, but you said people are even like, we need to see it. We need to see it live for a little bit longer and see it successful.
Yeah. I mean, seeing is believing, right? Like
especially if it changes the way you work fundamentally. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've been working, scripting in the way that you script and do your script includes and stuff in one way, and then all of a sudden you have this thing that you deliver those in a totally different way. You need to be assured that that's going to work. For us, we support the current release family -2. So for us, we're going to have to wait about a year before this is even an option in our production code because it has to be in Washington. That's the first release of it. And we will have to support everything, for the next year, even before Washington. So we have some time personally to keep our eyes open. I'm excited where it could be, but I understand people's, caution when they see that something like this come out.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see somebody who really upends their process and makes a splashy impact. See if it changes the outlook a bit.
Yep. Okay, so that was topic 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That'll do it.
Yeah, we're done for now, and we'll come back when we have another list.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Stephen.
See ya.